podcast. I'm your host, Dylan Ruse, and I empower young men to find their power, passion, and purpose. Today, we're talking about how to improve your mental health. Tip number one is get this book, Lost Connections by Johann Hari. For those watching on YouTube, you can see it here. All right, Lost Connections, Johann Hari, Why You're Depressed and How to Find Hope. This book should be given to anyone with depression and anxiety. It really did change my life. And I want to talk about depression and anxiety on this podcast episode because when we talk about mental health, that's what a majority of people are struggling with, is depression and anxiety, some form of that, or it's playing out in some kind of way. And so Johann Hari talks about, I believe it's nine different reasons for why we're depressed and anxious. 9 different reasons. Disconnection from meaningful work, disconnection from other people, disconnection from meaningful values, disconnection from childhood trauma, disconnection from status and respect, disconnection from the natural world, disconnection from a hopeful or secure future, and then causes 8 and 9, the real role of genes and brain changes. And I recommend this book. Go get it and understand that better. So, how can we improve our mental health? I'm going to give a couple tips that will improve your mental health no matter where you are. If you are 1 out of 10, a 4 out of 10, a 7 out of 10, an 8 out of 10, and you're looking to improve your mental health, then this podcast is for you. And I'm going to make it as short and sharp, simple as I possibly can. Number 1 is get into sunlight or nature. Okay, we live in such a fucking disconnected world from nature, from Mother Nature, from the sunlight. And these things will drastically improve your mental health. You get out and spend 30 minutes a day in the sun, 30 minutes barefoot down at a beach, 30 minutes barefoot in a park or in nature, going on a hike, something like that, and you do that consistently day in, day out, you will find a massive increase in your overall mental well-being. Number 2, your diet. You have to be focused on what you're putting into your system, especially if you are really struggling. Those that are doing okay, doing well, and are just looking to get better, they don't have a strong pull potentially or a strong why as to why they should clean up their diet. And maybe that's a reason why they don't, is because it's like, well, I'm pretty healthy anyway, so who cares if I eat this? If you're really struggling, your diet needs to be addressed. You have to look into what you're consuming. Now, cut all fast food out, cut all soft drinks out, cut all anything that is in the middle of the aisles at your grocery store. You should go into the grocery store and walk around the edges. Fruit, vegetables, meat, and out, and get out of there. No anything with an ingredient list, ignore. The ingredient list should be steak, beef. There's your ingredient list. Should be an apple. There's your ingredient list. Honey, raw dairy. These things will improve your mental health drastically. All right. Stop consuming shit. Stop consuming shit. Your gut is your second brain. Okay. And so we want to be taking care of ourselves. Then, closely associated to that, exercise. Exercise 30 minutes a day. And that can look like going for a walk for 30 minutes if that's where you're at. But move your body some way, shape, or form for 30 minutes a day, and you'll see an improvement. The guys, you're hopefully picking up a theme here. This shit is obvious, okay? This stuff is obvious. Nature, nutrition, exercise, movement, okay? There's 3 things. Now, we get into a little bit more nuance. Meditation and journaling is key. I've had a really difficult 12, 18 months, probably the hardest 12, 18 months of my life. And it's been manageable and easy. And I'm trying to, excuse me, I'm trying to figure out how to best put this into words. It's been the most difficult and challenging 12 to 18 months in terms of the obstacles I've had to face, in terms of the changes in my life. However, I've handled those obstacles and challenges the best that I ever have compared to previously. Why? Because I've had these practices, meditation and journaling every single day. Got my journal here right next to me. And if I go and open it up right now as I'm filming this, it's August 28th. And I look back, one of the first entries is March 14th. So I've been journaling almost every day. And what that allows me to do is it allows me to get the shit that's in my head onto paper. All right. And there's a lot of benefits to doing that. A lot of benefits. Sorry about that. I just had to go blow my nose. Meditation and journaling, really key. Journaling allows me to get the shit that's out of my head onto paper. This isn't, I don't want you guys listening to think this is like some out there tool. There's a lot of research. And all you have to do is Google benefits of journaling, research on journaling, all these things. There's so much research into the benefits of journaling. And one of the main things is it allows you to get what's in your head onto paper, which means that you no longer have to think about that shit anymore, or it loses some power to the thoughts, because we have about 90,000 thoughts every single day, of which I think it's 60 to 70,000 are the same thoughts we had yesterday. So we're just stuck in a loop. And when you're able to use a journal or a notepad or some form of writing exercise to get your shit down, then you're able to process it on some level, because as you're writing and as you get better at it, because you're not going to do good at it, you're not going to be good at it. And I was trying to pick up journaling for about 2-3 years before this finally cemented. I would journal for 2 days, stop for 2 months, journal for 2 days, stop for 2 months. And I finally implemented it into my morning routine, and I have not looked back since. And it's great, but it allows me to, as I'm journaling, my subconscious mind takes over and it takes me to where I need to go. So I might start by just doing free form, which is like, this is what I did yesterday. Here's what I'm excited about, whatever. And as I'm going, my brain will take me, my subconscious mind will take me where I need to go to work through, at least on some level, and process that which I'm writing down. So that's really important. And meditation allows me to spend time alone with my own thoughts. How many of you can say you can comfortably sit and do nothing for 10 minutes, 20 minutes without picking up a phone, turning on the TV, texting a mate, doing something, just doing nothing? A massive reason as to why we can't do that is because we're uncomfortable sitting in our own thoughts. We don't like it. We don't like being bored, and we don't like sitting in our own thoughts because we do not enjoy what comes up. We live in the easiest time in human history to be distracted. Netflix, YouTube, Tinder, Instagram, TikTok, everything is designed to grab your attention and keep you there as long as possible. And so we don't know how to sit alone in a room with our own thoughts anymore. And shit comes to the surface and we want to suppress it. Shit comes to the surface and we want to suppress it. Shit comes to the surface and we want to suppress it. It's not a way to move through it. It's not a way for long-term health. It's not a way for short-term or long-term mental health. So meditation and journal are two really key tools that you need to have in your toolkit. So let's recap quickly. Nature, time in nature, nutrition, exercise, meditation, journaling. They're really key. And finally, what I want to say is, for the men listening, which should be all of you or most of you are men listening to this podcast, you need to have a purpose. That will allow you to get through some of the darkest, worst days possible when you've got a purpose. And I've done another podcast on how to find your purpose. So go and listen to that after this. But you need a purpose. You need a reason for getting up every day in the morning. You need a deep and meaningful reason for getting up every day in the morning. Because if you don't, and life comes and it knocks you on your ass, which it's going to do, it's going to come and knock you in your ass in some way, shape, or form. Something bad is going to happen to you eventually. Your parents will die one day. There's a guarantee to life. Your friend will eventually die one day. Your family members will eventually die one day. So all of us, no matter what happens in our life, will have to face those dark days. And chances are you're going to face a lot of other ones, a little bit less severe than that, or less severe than that, but you have to face them anyway. And you need to be able to face them. You need to have heart and resilience and backbone to overcome those things. And so what really helps in those moments is having a purpose, is having a why for getting through that. So go check out my other podcast on that. All right, boys. I hope this helped. Remember, Johan Hari, Lost Connections, Why You're Depressed and How to Find Hope. It's a great, great book. And as always, gents, if you found this podcast useful, please like, subscribe, leave a review. It only takes 60 seconds. Share it with a friend. The more we grow this community, the more this goes up the charts, the more people I'm able to reach and impact, and the bigger this brotherhood grows. And as always, young men, sending you love and strength.